All right, let's jump right in and tackle a huge question today. How do you actually get the things you truly, deeply desire in life? I mean, you know the feeling, right? You're putting in all the work, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but that thing you want, the success, the relationship, whatever it is, it just seems to stay out of reach. It's so frustrating. So, what's the missing piece of the puzzle here? And here's where it gets really interesting. The idea is that the solution isn't just about grinding harder or doing more stuff. It's actually about a fundamental shift in your state of being. It's less about what you do and way more about who you are in the moment. So this fundamental shift, it all boils down to understanding one core principle that seems to be running the show behind the scenes. We'll call it the law of vibration. So what is it? Well, think of it like this. Everything is just energy. And your state of being, every single emotion, every feeling is broadcasting a specific frequency out into the world. You know, feeling total joy? That's a super high frequency. Feeling dragged down by fear? That's a completely different low frequency. And the law itself is dead simple. Like attracts like. Your emotional state is basically a magnet, and it's always pulling in experiences that match its exact frequency. You can really split these into two camps, right? On one side, you've got these low vibration states, things like fear, anger, or that constant feeling of not having enough. And on the other side, you have the high vibration states, joy, real gratitude, love. Now, here's the kicker. The results you see in your life are a direct mirror of which of these two states you're living in most of the time. Okay, so we've got these different frequencies, but why does that actually matter in your day-to-day life? Well, it creates what you could call a communication gap. This quote really gets to the heart of it. People on different vibrations can't understand each other. It's not about one person being smarter or being right or wrong. It's just a fundamental mismatch, like trying to tune an AM radio to an FM station. And you see this play out in really practical ways. Think about it. Two people can hear the exact same words, but they'll interpret them completely differently based on their vibration. It's why a piece of feedback from your boss can sound like a helpful tip to one person and a personal attack to another. An opportunity that seems totally obvious to someone in a state of joy might be completely invisible to someone stuck in a state of lack. Even the kinds of ideas and solutions that pop into your head are determined by the frequency you're on. All right, this next part is where things get a little mind-bending. It's this idea of the paradox of wanting, and it's a hidden trap that so many of us fall into without ever realizing it. Which brings us to a really weird question. Why is it that the more desperately you focus on something you want, the farther away it seems to get? I mean, that feels completely backward, doesn't it? But there's a very clear reason why this happens. Let's just walk through this trap. So say you really want a new car. You think about it all the time. You focus on wanting it. But what feeling are you actually practicing when you do that? You're practicing the feeling of not having the car. Your dominant vibration becomes lack. And what does the law of vibration say a frequency of lack attracts? You guessed it, more lack. So you end up creating this negative loop that keeps the very thing you want at a distance. Okay, so if focusing on wanting is the trap, how in the world do you get out of it? Let's talk about the solution. It is all about shifting your focus away from the lack and intentionally raising your state of being. And let's be super clear here. The goal is not to stop wanting things. Desire is a powerful, amazing thing. The goal is just to stop focusing on the absence of what you want. It is a subtle mental shift for sure, but it is an absolutely life-changing one. So how do you actually do this? Well, the key is to consciously choose to do things that naturally lift you up. For some people, that might be prayer or chanting, which people have used for thousands of years to shift their consciousness. For you, it might be as simple as putting on some music that makes you feel amazing. It can even be just connecting your mind to inspiring ideas or symbols, anything that pulls your focus away from that feeling of lack and into a better feeling place. And, this is not a new idea by any stretch. You can find it in ancient Buddhist scripture summed up in this saying, which basically translates to elements align by their nature. It's the same timeless principle we've been talking about. Like attracts like. What's really cool, though, is how people are framing this ancient wisdom today. You'll hear this phrase, quantum aligns with quantum. It's a way of taking that same core idea and giving it this modern, scientific-sounding twist that connects to our understanding of energy. Same law, just a different lens. So, let's bring this all home. What's the big takeaway for you and your life? Well, it means you might just have the power to literally hack your own destiny. This completely flips the script on the idea of destiny. What if it's not some fixed, predetermined path that you're stuck on? What if your destiny is something that you are attracting to yourself in every single moment based on the frequency you're broadcasting? Think of it this way. If your current vibration has you on a track headed for an outcome you don't really want, you're not stuck. By consciously working to raise your vibration, by choosing to focus on things like joy and gratitude and love, you can literally switch tracks. You can start attracting a totally different and much better outcome. You're not a victim of fate. You are a magnet for your reality. So I guess the final question to leave you with is this. Are you being controlled by your destiny, or are you being controlled by your vibration? Because if this idea is true, the power isn't out there somewhere, it's right here with you. And the answer to that question, well, it could change everything.